The night air was cool as Chloe Winters stepped out of her apartment building. Her deep blue eyes shimmered as she hailed a cab. She looked like a woman who had everything in control. As the taxi pulled up, Chloe glanced inside. The driver, a tall, striking man with flawless dark skin. His name tag read Isaiah. He had a calm, serene expression, sharp cheekbones, and full lips. His short-cropped hair made him look elegant and dangerous. His smile, though, caught Chloe off guard. It never wavered. Whereto Isaiah's voice was smooth, deep, and reassuring. Chloe slid into the back seat and buckled up. "Just take me to the city center," Chloe said, settling back. She tried to shake off the weird feeling. There was something about Isaiah that was unsettling. His smile was just too perfect. Isaiah's smile was still there, unmoving. His dark eyes met hers through the reflection. For a brief moment, Chloe felt her heart skip a beat. She quickly looked away, trying to focus on her phone. The ride was smooth, but the silence between them felt heavy. Chloe's thoughts started to drift. She couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't an ordinary ride. Minutes passed, and they reached the city center. Chloe looked out the window, confused. This wasn't the usual route. "I thought you said the city center." Isaiah's smile widened ever so slightly, but he didn't speak. The car continued down an unfamiliar street. Chloe's nerves began to heighten. The streets here were quiet, desolate, as if she had been transported to a different world. She glanced at Isaiah through the mirror. His eyes were fixed on the road, but his smile never faltered. "Where are we going?" Chloe asked, her voice suddenly tight with unease. Her fingers clenched the edge of the seat. There was something in the air, a thick, almost suffocating silence that seemed to press in from all sides. Isaiah's voice broke the tension. "Don't worry, Chloe, we're almost there." His words were soft, but they carried an odd weight. The car slowed down, turning into a narrow alley, lit only by a few flickering street lamps. Chloe's heartbeat quickened as she glanced out the window. The buildings here were old, run down, and abandoned. "This is not the city center," she muttered, her voice a mixture of confusion and fear. Isaiah's smile remained unchanged. "You'll understand soon enough," he replied, his voice steady, almost to calm. Chloe swallowed hard, her throat dry. Something about the entire situation felt dangerously wrong. The alley ended in a large, empty parking lot. Isaiah pulled up to a faded building that looked abandoned. There were no signs of life, no cars, no lights, nothing except the sound of their engine idling. Her fingers gripped the seat harder. "I think I should go," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. But before she could open the door, Isaiah turned his head to look at her fully. The smile was almost too wide now. "Chloe," he said softly, almost lovingly. "You've been waiting for this. You just don't remember yet." His voice was smooth, almost hypnotic, and Chloe felt her pulse race. Suddenly, she felt the car doors lock. The distinct sound of metal clicking echoed in the confined space. Panic gripped her chest. "What do you mean? What have you done?" Isaiah didn't respond right away. He just kept smiling, that unsettling smile. Then, after what felt like an eternity, he spoke again, his voice colder. "I've done nothing, but you have." Chloe felt her blood run cold. She knew those words. They haunted her, though she couldn't understand why. "What are you talking about?" she asked, her voice shaking now. But Isaiah remained silent, his smile never wavering, his eyes dark and unreadable in the rearview mirror. The car remained motionless, the silence growing heavier with each passing second. Chloe's breath came in shallow gasps. She felt trapped, helpless, as if every instinct in her body screamed to run, but her legs refused to move. She couldn't tear her eyes away. "Why are you doing this?" she asked, her voice cracking. "What do you want from me?" "I don't want anything from you, Chloe," he said softly, his voice almost tender. "But you've been waiting for this moment. You just didn't know it yet." The words felt like puzzle pieces she couldn't quite fit together. Chloe's mind flashed back to the earlier part of the ride, his smile, his calm demeanor, that unnerving feeling. She had dismissed it as nerves, but now it all made sense, or at least it was starting to. "Who are you?" Chloe demanded. "What do you mean? I've been waiting for this." Isaiah met her eyes through the rearview mirror. This time, there was a depth to his gaze, a quiet intensity. "You don't remember, do you?" he asked, his smile now replaced with something darker, more knowing. "It was a long time ago, Chloe. You were young. You didn't understand, but you made a promise." Chloe's heart skipped a beat. The words echoed in her mind, but they didn't make sense. A promise. What promise? Isaiah turned to face her, his smile now gone. His eyes, once calm, were intense. "When you were a little girl, you promised me you'd come back to me when you were ready. You forgot, but I didn't." Chloe's breath caught in her throat. The memories surged forward, blurry and fragmented. A figure from her childhood, a man she hadn't thought of in years. She remembered glimpses of him, Isaiah, but the details were always hazy. The promise she had promised him, but why? Before she could react, Isaiah's voice grew soft again, almost reassuring. "Now you're ready, Chloe. I've waited for so long." The car's engine roared to life, and before Chloe could even scream, the taxi sped off into the darkness, leaving the world she knew far behind.